Hey everybody, welcome back to Chi Chi's Comeback Corner. I am your host Chi Chi, and I'm back with another banger interview for you guys. Today, I will be chatting to one of the top rising prospects when it comes to the light heavyweight division, the heavyweight division, maybe at some point. But now he might actually be also looking to conquer the middleweight division. My guest today is no other than the one and only Zhane Tannous, who has just recently been signed to World Sports Betting. Shout out, Zane. Welcome to Chi Chi's Comeback Corner.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Chi Chi.
Shout out, shout out. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing very good, very, very good. Happy that it's rainy on a Sunday, so on my rest day I can chill and watch movies. So yeah, happy and healthy. How are you doing?
I'm great. And then I'm super excited to actually be talking to you because I know that the news just got, released that you've been signed to World Sports Betting officially, even though I think a lot of us kind of already assumed that you were under the World Sports Betting umbrella. But yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a huge honor.
Yeah. So I just want to start off by talking about the fact that you are an undefeated prospect, right? You're 3-0 as a professional with all first round finishes. So how would you describe this? How do you feel about this being the start of your professional career right now?
Well, yeah, Chi Chi, last year at the end of the year, I just spent some time reflecting on all the things that had happened, and it almost seemed like it didn't. It was so crazy to realize that was the reality of how the year played out. 3 first round finishes. I really couldn't have asked for a better way to start my pro career. But yeah, at the end of the day, hard work pays off, and going into 2026, I'm looking forward to do some more. Get some more finishes, and maybe a couple of decisions as well, to show people that I'm not only a first round finisher. I'm done when the fight's done.
Okay, cool. So your last opponent was actually Conrad Siabi, who's a veteran in this game, right? And he came in experienced, right? Heavy experience with 8 wins, 6 losses type vibe. So how did it feel for you to be stepping in there with someone that seasoned? And how do you feel like it's prepared you now for the future battles ahead?
Well, yeah, fighting Conrad Siabi. I mean, that's a name and a face that I saw when I was younger, growing up, watching EFC, watching old school EFC, and I said something at the post-fight interview that fighting him felt like I was watching TV. It really did feel like I was watching TV. It felt like I was living inside of some sort of reality TV program, and I guess the experience that you get from fighting somebody like that is priceless. He had a huge following. He's also a very good talker, so you have to keep your wits about you and not, I wouldn't say lose your temper, but if you don't have thick skin, he can get under your skin. And I know he does it to sell fights and whatnot. I mean, I love Coach Conrad. But yeah, fighting Coach Conrad was one of the coolest things. Like I said, it literally felt like I was living inside of some sort of TV show or a video game.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, because I attended the EFC 130 pre-event press conference, if I'm not mistaken, I think you weren't able to make it there. Do you feel like you kind of maybe missed out on, getting to have an iconic face-off with him and, that iconic trade of words, as you say?
Yeah, so I was very sad that I couldn't be there. I had work responsibilities, and I also needed to transport 2 of our athletes to the EFC. But looking back, if I could have changed that, I would have definitely made a plan to be there, because at the end of the day, I think he felt disrespected, and that was not at all my intention. My intention wasn't at all to disrespect him and just not show. But I did speak to him about it after the fight. I did try to clear things up, because at the end of the day, just as much as it was a fight that showed I'm up and coming and I'm somebody to keep an eye on, it was also a fight honoring him. So at the end of the day, missing that press conference might have been a mistake, but I'm still learning in this game. I'm still new, and I will definitely be at the next one.
We love to see it. And I'm looking forward to you at that press conference. But right now, you are steadily moving up into the main card and everything like that. Are you feeling that pressure and all of that attention as yet? Or do you feel like it's kind of chill? Do you feel like, this is the way that my career is supposed to be going right now?
Well, look, you definitely feel it in moments, but I do my best. I do my best to manage it, just like you manage all the other feelings that go into fighting. fear, anxiety, worrying about being on a big stage, worrying about people watching you on Super Sports. I mean, you do have to like process the reality that like a lot of people are watching and anything can happen. You can anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of power in words. So I'm not going to go into detail about what can happen. But yeah, it's definitely a high pressure environment, but pressure makes diamonds, and you need to learn how to handle these situations, and they also transfer into every aspect of life. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I really am enjoying it, but I'm trying not to. I wouldn't say trying. I'm definitely not allowing it to go to my head. It's just another fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm happy about that approach, because coming up on your next fight, right, you're facing Siyakudumisa Nomvemve, right? And
Yes.
that's happening at a catch weight. Now, I know you just explained it to me off camera, right? But like, I do want you to explain it just for other people who might not necessarily understand what's going on. Why exactly is that fight between you and Siyakudumisa happening at a catch weight as opposed to one of the divisions?
Yeah. So I think, like I mentioned, he's currently, well, he's competed only at middleweight as a pro at the EFC. I've competed at like my first fight was actually at I weighed in at 81 kilograms. My second fight I weighed in at 93, so I fought at light heavyweight, sorry, and then my third fight against Conrad was at 100. So the reality of the situation with the light heavyweight division is that it is a thin field, and the EFC really does go out of their way to try and make a plan for me. To try and make a plan for all of the light heavyweights on the roster. But I think this fight just makes sense because Sia recently competed at UAE Warriors, and he also competed at light heavyweight. So he is a big boy. He is a big boy. So for him to come up from middleweight and for me to meet him at 90 kilograms, I think it makes for a good matchup. I think it's going to be a very good fight.
Yeah. And long term, which division are you trying to dominate? Which division are you trying to become stable in? Hopefully, like, for example, like you said, right, with EFC, you're hoping that like the light heavyweight division will kind of get a few more athletes in there and stuff like that. But like, which division are you trying to dominate? Is it maybe one of those things where you got your eyes on two divisions, or is there just one division that you're set on dominating?
So currently my focus is on the light heavyweight division. I did say at the last press conference that I'd like to do some damage at the light heavyweight division. In the future, we will definitely consider looking at middleweight, but yeah, I first want to focus on the task that's ahead of me, because at the end of the day, you never know. I approach every fight as if it's my last fight. I'm blessed, truly blessed, to be able to get into the cage and compete every single time. I do not take it for granted, and yeah, I try my best not to waste too much energy thinking about 5 fights from now and throwing everything 150,000% into the fight that's in front of me.
Yeah. And you know, the Siyakudumisa Nomvemve fight is actually quite an interesting one, because he is actually a former title challenger. If you remember, we saw, of course, Luke Michael was supposed to defend his EFC middleweight championship against Shadrach Blambi in Soa, but then, you know, due to that accident, then Soa was unable to compete and everything like that. So Siyakudumisa actually managed to step in there on short notice, and he went the distance with the champion. So what kind of test are you expecting from him?
A test of resilience and grit. I've fought him before, and I've actually lost to him by decision. So I know what it's like to be in there. I know what it's like to be in there with Sia. I fought him in 2022 at the MMA SA Nationals. The fight went to the decision. It was a very close fight. It was a very good fight. But yeah, what happened with, look, Sia is a dude who's not going away. Like Sia, there is no quitting that guy. I love the look in his eyes when he starts to get fired up. He looks like he is ready to just absolutely do anything he needs to do to beat you. I love the fact that he wants to entertain fans by keeping it on the feet. I love how he gets upset with people when they start running away from him. He's a dog. He's got that dog inside of him, and that makes me so excited for this fight, man. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be a matchup of grit versus grit, resilience versus resilience, and I think I don't wanna make. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I think this could be fight of the night.
Oh, okay. And you know, I don't know how this skipped me in my research, but I actually didn't know that you and Siyakudumisa actually fought in 2022. That's very interesting. And the fact that you're saying that he actually won that bout. So now coming into this bout, what makes you feel as though you've got the edge on him and you're going to be the one to come out on top this time?
This me. would beat the SHIT out of 2022 Zhane. So I'm pretty sure that, well, I'm 100% sure that I'm a very different fighter. I'm a very different person. I've got different philosophies that I live by. I'm a very, very different person coming into this fight. In my amateur career, specifically that MMA SA competition, I honestly don't feel like I brought my best. You can always do better, but at the end of the day, like currently I'm at a point where I am 150,000% dialed in. So just that I'm like, obviously Sia has changed as well and grown as a fighter and as a person. I have too. So again, like I said, it's going to be a clash of grit and resilience versus grit and resilience.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm definitely looking forward to that fight now, like more especially. But I know that you just said that you don't like, looking into the future. You'd rather just focus on this fight right now. But looking into the future, when do you realistically see yourself challenging for your first EFC title?
Well, Chi, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Like if this next one goes my way, God willing, I think that the next logical step could be challenging for the light heavyweight title.
Oh, okay. So like probably by mid-year this year.
Yeah. Well, look, it's not up to me. All respect to the champ. He's the one who gets to decide when and where. I'll just be waiting. I'll pull a Khabib, send location, bro.
Wow. Okay. That's super, super cool. And I know that you just said that like, Siyakudumisa Nomvemve is a brawler and everything like that. And you've had 3 first round finishes. Are you anticipating another first round finish? Or do you think that like maybe this time it might go a little bit further into the match? Or do you actually see this going the distance?
To be honest with you, I see this going the distance. Sia's resilience. I mean, if you look at what happened with him against Luke Michael, he took a very, very high pressure fight on short notice and he went the distance. Sia is not somebody who decides halfway through this, like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I said, again, he's got that dog inside of him. He comes to fight and just like I'm finished when the fight's finished, he's finished when the fight's finished. So anything could happen. I mean, it could be another quick finish. You never really know. But if I had to put money on it, I would say this fight is most likely to go the distance.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's go. So you've recently signed as a sponsored athlete with World Sports Betting, right? What does that partnership mean for you professionally?
Well, it means the world. It means the world, Chichi. I've been in touch with them. I've been in touch with them over the years. They helped like the MMA SA team with kit and stuff like that. So my first couple of professional fights. They also helped me by paying for my kit, and now and then they throw me 1 or 2 tickets. But I told them, look, I want to prove myself. I want to show you guys that I belong here. And once I do that, I'd love to sit down and talk about becoming like a brand ambassador or just speak about a full sponsorship. I didn't want it handed to me. I think a lot of people in the scene think that just because I have connections at World Sports Betting that it was given to me. I worked very hard to feel like I deserve the sponsorship, and yeah, I'm going to continue to work hard to show that I deserve to be with them and that I deserve to be where I am in the sport.
Yeah. And, I'm glad that you actually brought up those family ties that you do have to World Sports Betting, and you actually gave us a bit of insight into how it came about, because like I said, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people also believe that you already kind of were already in there with World Sports Betting. So when it was announced that, you've now signed on as a sponsored athlete, a lot of us were kind of taken aback by that. But, at this point, now that you've gone through what you've gone through, where you've proven yourself to the company and come on board now as a sponsored athlete, do you feel like you still kind of have to prove yourself as worthy of it and show that you didn't just get this off of the merit of you being related to somebody within the company? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, always, just because you achieve something doesn't mean the work stops, right?
True.
Specifically like in the sport, when you're working towards becoming a champion, the moment you become champion, that's when the real work starts. Because at this point in time, there's maybe 1 or 2 targets on my back. But when you become champion, the whole division is out to get you. You become the guy to beat. So yeah, the hard work doesn't stop. The hard work does not stop.
Yeah. So before you move on, right, onto like greener pastures and everything like that, what's a dream fight that you have within the EFC?
Dream fight within the EFC. I guess at this point in time, it would have to be fighting the champ, fighting JC. I've been watching that dude. I saw him fight. I think it was. I can't exactly remember the year, but I remember it was an event in Clarksdorp called Rise of the Warrior 2. I think it was his second amateur fight. And yeah, since going to that event, that is one of the things that made me turn away from like just standard martial arts, like a little bit of kickboxing. And I was like, this is what I want to do. So it would be fighting somebody who somebody who I do look up to, somebody who I was a very big fan of growing up. So yeah, I guess that's the dream matchup at this point in time.
Okay, and considering that he is the champion, right? I'm assuming that you're gonna want him to be watching this fight very, very closely. But like, do you perhaps have a message for him? Maybe urging him to maybe consider even being at the World Sports Betting Arena on the night so that he can like actually come face to face with you.
I'm not a big guy for call outs. And stuff like that. But yeah, I'm assuming. Look, in the light heavyweight division, I'm watching everyone, so I'm assuming he's doing the same. At the end of the day, you have to study your opponents. I mean, it's a priceless resource to be able to sit and watch and see what they do right, areas that you can exploit, areas that you need to work on if there are weaknesses, if there are weaknesses of yours that they are good at. So I'm assuming he is watching. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, it's again just one fight. There's a fight in front of me. The man is Sia, and whatever happens after that, we'll see.
Yeah. Now, Zane, I know you're still pretty young, right? In terms of like your fighting career, right? Like, I mean, this is only going to be your fourth professional fight, but do you feel as though right now, right, like, because you already kind of laid it out in terms of like a timeline, in terms of that, like after this fight, if you get a proper finish and everything, you'd like to then challenge for the title. Do you feel like you are now ready to be the person who leads the light heavyweight division forward?
I do. I do 100%. So what I can say is that in the amateurs, you kind of have like one foot in the door, one foot out the door sometimes. The last couple of fights that I did at amateur, I gave everything and I saw the results of giving everything. I'm somebody who is currently 150,000% in. And like I said, if I end up fighting for the belt, it's my responsibility to not only go there and fight for the belt, but to show up and be the best version of myself, to show JC that I respect him as well. There's nothing you can't play MMA, if that makes sense. If you think that you can just like train for 4 weeks because you are an athlete and you can get in the cage and everything's going to go your way, look, it might, but that's not how winning is done, in my opinion. Winning is done by doing everything right, doing everything to the best of your abilities, and making the necessary sacrifices. So it would be a huge responsibility for me to perform if I were to fight for the belt. And like I said, after that, the target's on my back. So it's a huge responsibility for me to keep on working in order to ensure that I not only respect the organization, but I also give the fans what they want and give my opponents a fight. Because yeah, at the end of the day, not iron, what's the word? Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, there we go. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, most definitely. And you talked about like how you've got your eye on the entire light heavyweight division, right? Now I know that the IMAF African Championships are coming up very soon. Will you be watching that very closely, also trying to see if perhaps there's any light heavyweight fighters there or even heavyweight fighters there that maybe the EFC could maybe snag up, and maybe you could also be facing them at some point this year?
Okay, look, there is something I want to clear up about the division situation. Like, I am not a heavyweight. I'm definitely not a heavyweight. Like, I've seen Triple H Chikasa. Like, that man looks like he can be my dad, and I'm just like his little boy. Even as a light heavyweight, I'm not the biggest light heavyweight. So I'm paying more attention to the light heavyweight division at this point in time, and then in the future, maybe middleweight is where I'll move to. But yeah, I will definitely be watching. Just for interest sake, it's always fun to watch.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. And looking beyond the EFC, which promotion kind of has your eye? Which promotion are you looking at and you're like, I need to fight on that stage one of these days? Doesn't necessarily have to be like, the big dream of like the UFC, but like, are there any other promotions that you're perhaps looking at and you're like, I need to get in there sometime soon?
Um, to be honest with you, look. I mean, PFL Africa is a good place to be. There are a bunch of great organizations, but TG, I'm still processing that I've made it to the EFC. I mean, that this was a dream. I'm so every single time I see my gloves with the EFC across them, and I see like a picture when somebody tells me, "Hey, we saw you on TV." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm still processing that like this whole dream of fighting for the EFC has become a reality. And I'm so happy and so grateful to the EFC that they've given me the opportunities in order to compete, in order to grow my brand, and create some highlight reels. But yeah, moving away from EFC, I think the next step, PFL Africa. Yo, what's up, guys? PFL.
And that actually kind of links to my next question, right? Where I wanted to ask with regards to like what's next for you, right? In terms of that, like obviously I know that right now you're trying to dominate in the EFC and everything like that, but are you trying to build yourself on the African continent? So like maybe looking at PFL Africa and the likes, or are you trying to also prove yourself internationally as soon as possible with the likes of like UAE Warriors, maybe Brave Combat Federation, promotions like that?
Look, definitely. I mean, the sky's the limit. I would like to eventually get into some type of international organization. Like I did actually get an offer at UA Warriors, but you see, the thing is, just like God opens doors, sometimes the devil opens doors, and a person needs to sit down and think like, okay, is this a test? Like, is this a test of your pride? Like, are you being tested here, or is this the right decision for your future? So the idea of an international promotion, once it becomes a reality and I get those offers again, I'll make the decision in the moment based on my gut feeling and based on what feels right. Because one of the great things that the EFC does is it provides a platform where new fighters like myself can build yourself up. And it gives you the tools to be able to succeed at the bigger stages. I feel like when you jump over to a big international stage too soon and without thinking clearly, it could spell something really bad for you. It could spell the end of your career. Like you never really know. So all of these things related to bigger organizations and international fights and stuff like that, it's all about timing, and we'll see what happens.
We'll most definitely see what happens. But Zhane, thank you so much for joining me. I have enjoyed this interview, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing you in action on Thursday, the 9th of April at EFC 132. Zhane Tannous will be facing Siyakudumisa Nomvemve, the chef. And that's going to be a banger of a match, guys. It's a catchweight bout, but it's one that could have implications on those heavier weight divisions. So definitely tune in. And yeah, Zhane, thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to go and follow Zhane so that you can follow his story as he builds up to that fight night. And Zhane, please say bye to the people.
Goodbye, people. Thank you so much, Chichi, for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.